Hi, I'm Shambhu from Beacon, and today I'm going to introduce you to the Beacon App Store and show you how easily you can develop apps and modules that can run on the Beacon platform and make them available to the Beacon end users through the App Store. We will also go through the architecture of the Beacon App Store to deepen the understanding of how it works. Beacon App Store is a marketplace, a one-stop shop for discovering apps. Apps could be the end-user application, which have user interfaces, or they could also be modules, which are pretty much everything else. They could be quant libraries, market data plugins, or infrastructure components that do not necessarily have a user interface but extend the functionality of the Beacon platform. We will collectively refer to them as apps from here on. Using App Store, Beacon customers can easily search for apps by keyword and categories. Users can learn more about these apps, support, pricing information, and raise release notes to understand changes between versions. Depending on the user's entitlements, a user can view the installation status of the app and perform upgrades for a single user, a particular group, or the entire Beacon domain. We will now create a simple application and publish it to the App Store. For this example, we will make use of Beacon's Glint application development framework, which lets you write both the front-end and the back-end using Python. It's important to note that the App Store is app development framework agnostic. You can use your favorite JavaScript front-end framework such as React or Vue.js and write your backend using Python or Node.js. You can also create a Docker container for your application and deploy it as an image into Beacon. Let's jump right into creating our first application. Search for scaffold and run app.py by pressing F9. Here in this dialog, you can enter details about your project. Let's call it hello_beacon. For your project type, you can choose from different options, but we'll choose Glint. You can also accept defaults for other fields, as we can always change them later on from the IDE. I'm using the classic IDE for my example, but if you prefer using Beacon IDE, you can use that as well. For now, let's click on Create Project. If you see Project Created, this tool should have created a project for you under the given repository and directory. As you can see in my Beacon IDE, the scaffolder generated a new project for us under the given repo and directory. Let's try running the app. Under the project folder, we have app.py. Let's open it and press F9. We just executed the generated app in the active Python shell. Now that we have a running template to begin our project from, let's add our custom logic. For this example, we will make use of a virtualized table component of Glint to render a table with 1 million rows. Let's delete the generated code. We'll just paste our custom logic here. I imported NumPy and Glint components. Then I instantiated a Glint app, generated our data, reshaped it, and then instantiated a virtualized table component of Glint with the data. Now without further ado, let's press F9 again. Great. Here we have our virtualized table component rendering the data lazily. Let's now publish it to the App Store so that other users can also use it. But before we do that, let's take a quick moment to understand the App Store architecture and also review the contents of the project directory generated for us. App Store architecture. Here you can see several Beacon instances or domains. A Beacon managed domain on the left-hand side, a Beacon app provider domain named Domain A, and a couple of Beacon customer domains, Domain B and Domain C. All these domains have a local app store. Each app store is connected to one or more app registries, which are a registry of apps managed by different publishers. Every domain has an internal app registry that only the users of the domain can publish to and access. In addition, each domain is connected to the Beacon app registry managed by us, Beacon Platforms Inc. Third-party app providers as well as Beacon may publish apps to the Beacon app registry. From a customer domain, end users will be able to browse apps listed on the Beacon app registry, as well as apps listed internally on the internal app registry by the customer's internal app developer users. There will be a review process before third-party app provider applications can be listed on the Beacon app registry, but publishing to the internal registry only requires a developer role on the domain. Now that we know the concept of App Store and app registries, let's look into the contents of the project directory. Here we have a manifest.yaml file. This file contains information about the app, the publisher, how it is packaged, launched, installed, and uninstalled. Let's make a change to the publisher company name. We'll modify the publisher to Beacon and set the company name here. Let's also add some description and update the change log. Let's now commit our change and push it to the remote and run publish.py. So here I am in the source control view. We'll stage all the changes. Commit the change and push it to remote. With every App Store project, we have a publish.py included. Now if you F9 the script, it will find all the dependencies package it, and publish it to the local domain registry. We should now be able to see our first app in the App Store. We're at the Beacon App Store again. Now let's assume the role of an end user and try to find the app from the App Store. Let's click it and install it for the entire domain. Now we can see that it is installed for the entire domain. Now let's go to the app launcher and see it there. Here we can see Hello Beacon under the app launcher, and now let's click it. Until now, we have been launching Hello Beacon inside our IDE shell. Clicking this icon in App Launcher will launch it in Beacon's WMP grid. Congratulations! You have deployed your first application on the App Store. Remember, at this point, we have only published the app to the Beacon domain's internal app registry. So your app will not be accessible for anyone outside of your domain. This is sufficient if you just want to make your app available for your internal end users. But if you'd like to publish your app to the Beacon app registry as an app provider partner, you need to get the necessary paperwork in place with us. Having done that, you would submit your app package for review by us. Let's walk through this workflow by running submit.py, included in the project directory. To avoid accidental submission to Beacon, this is only allowed for app provider domains and is allowed only for developers with the role of publisher. Here we are at the Beacon IDE again. Let's find submit.py right alongside publish.py and press F9. This will submit your app to the Beacon app registry. Once your app is submitted for review, we will review it. To check the latest status of the review, you can always use the App Reviews app. You can see your app review in the submitted status. Once the app is approved, you will get notified via email. After that, you can simply right-click on the app review and click on Publish. This will list your application package in the Beacon app registry and make it available for all Beacon customers who have the Beacon app registry enabled. Since this was just a demo app, we won't actually publish this. This concludes our demo. If you have any questions about Beacon Developer Program or App Store, please reach out to bap@beacon.io. Thank you.